That is that I'm desperate.
What the hell is even that?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today's video is going to be different than the content that I usually make on the channel. So this is going to be a voiceover commentary video in regards to the recent allegations and the recent video that James Charles has put out discussing those allegations. So with that being said, let's get right into whatever this is. So I want to start off by saying sorry for being MIA for the past couple weeks. I have been taking a new sleep aid because I've been dealing with really awful insomnia in addition to having bad headaches because of the new season change and all the pollen. So sorry about not making content as frequently as I used to. I will be back making my normal videos this week and also in the next coming weeks. So sorry about my absence. So in all honesty, this video has taken me a minute to think about what I truly wanted to say. I recorded some audio before this take and I just wasn't satisfied, but I'm glad that it was more of a venting session before I get into making something that's opinionated that I want to put out there in the world. I also want to thank the other content creators that I have been listening to, and also just with keeping track of the story. They've really given me a more well-rounded way of thinking about how to approach this subject matter. And of course, I'll have all those creators linked down below if you guys want to check them out. You're probably already subscribed to them because I am no one on this platform. And yeah, they have way more followers than I do. Anyway, so after watching their videos and also just coming to my own conclusions as to what I think about this James Charles situation and the video that he put out on April 1st, why that date? You put out a holding myself accountable video on April 1st. Classic, love that. Chef kiss. So after really milling over what I thought about the video, I'm tired. I'm tired and I'm more exhausted than I was to begin with. So he doesn't hold himself accountable at all in that video. At all. He blames the victims who are underage. He then wants to become the teacher in regard to saying like, hey, so this is going to be a teaching moment for all of us to really think about this situation and talk about this subject. And I'm thinking, I feel like most adults who know the law and are also not disgusting individuals know not to solicit children for illicit photos, conversations, things like that. We all know this. These are basic things that most people know. And also he says he's desperate. So he's desperate for love, attention, affection, maybe a nice pat on the shoulder. He's just desperate. That's why he purposely goes after the youngest people he can possibly meet. Yeah, there's no amount of desperation on this planet that would ever make me want to engage in that type of activity with anyone who's underage. I don't even feel comfortable at 27 years old engaging in that type of activity with someone who's like 20. It's weird. It's really weird. And from personal experience, I remember when I was in college, I was 19 years old. I was dating a guy who's 27. And because I was in college, I was working a part-time job at Hollister. I was making $7.25 an hour. You know, this guy that I was dating, he impressed me. I was impressed by, you know, the fact that he had, you know, a real job, the fact that he had money to pay for things. He bought a $5,000 Burberry coat. He took many trips to Vegas. I remember for my birthday, he bought me like a full set of MAC makeup. He was just like, yeah, you can choose anything you want. I'm treating you to this very birthday. And as a stupid 19-year-old, I was impressed. And in a way, I felt indebted to him, like I owed him something because he did those things for me. That is the power imbalance that we're talking about. I was 19 years old, and even though I was an adult, I still didn't understand that that relationship was not healthy. It was not good for me, and it was toxic. And it also just wasn't appropriate. Why was he dating at that age, at the age I am now? I'm 27 now. Why was he dating me? Why did he choose me? It really makes you think. And it makes me, to this day, I feel sick to my stomach, thinking that I was put into that situation because I was just so impressed by just everything that he did and everything that he said. But, it wasn't right. It just, even to this day, thinking about it, it just was not right. And to see this happening at an even larger scale with a person who has more fame and power than the individual who did that to me did, it doesn't make me just sick. It makes my blood boil. And the fact that he doesn't understand what he's done is just absolutely unacceptable. This is serious. These are actual crimes that were committed against children. And even for the ones who are 18 years old, you're still not in that type of space within your mind where you know that this is wrong. You feel like it's wrong. You feel it. But in the back of your head, you just kind of push that. You're just like, oh, well, they're just helping me out. They're just doing this for me. This will end up good for me in the end. So you go along with the ride. And that's the problem that I have with this man, especially after we saw the Impulsive podcast with him saying that he thinks like a 40-year-old. He goes after the youngest possible person that he could date, whether they're 18 or 19. And now that that's been proven false, so he goes after even younger, he knows what he's doing. He knows the power that he holds. And he knows that he can leverage it over his young, impressionable audience. And we've seen it way too many times, and it's time to stop. This has gone on for far too long. Whether it be the Harvey Weinsteins of the world, the David Dobrik's of the world, the R. Kellys, or the James Charles, it's gone on too long. And we as a community, both as people who are either viewers, content creators, and also people in the beauty community, we have to step up and say, enough is enough. This has gone on for far too long. It's actively done harm to the community. It's actively hurting people. And no one wants to talk about that. Everyone just wants to protect James. He's not the victim. And even with him saying like, oh, well, I'm all alone when I'm filming. First of all, shut up. We don't care about that. We really don't care. This is not about you. This is not about you. You had your time to straighten up and to fix your behavior and to not target children. You've had more than enough time to do this. And you chose not to. You chose to keep going after these kids because you knew that you're not going to get canceled. Nothing bad's going to happen. This isn't about being canceled. You broke the law. You actively broke the law by engaging this type of behavior and activity with minors. The fact that this is a pattern of behavior, and also in addition to being a pattern of behavior, you also have a pattern of luring these kids in. You find them on the For You page or the Explore page on Instagram. And then you start messaging them in the DMs. And then from there, you're like, well, let's move this over to Snapchat. So if you decide to take a screenshot of this, I can go after you. You have threatened kids who have no power. You've threatened them. You've intimidated them, and you've coerced them. And that's sick. It's absolutely sick. And it's beyond time that you're held accountable and put behind bars for this. At 19 years old, I didn't know that I was being taken advantage of. I had no idea. And I sit here feeling absolutely disgusted with myself and the fact that I was so stupid to even believe that. I know what those kids are going through. And I know that it's gonna come back on them tenfold later on in the years. And even though I'm glad I'm in therapy and, I'm taking medication to help myself, it still hurts. The pain is still there. And the memories are still there. And there's nothing I can do about that. But try to cope. And for you to sit here and go, well, in today's lesson of not talking to children and breaking the law, let's learn about this. Dude, we don't need to learn about anything. We know that this is against the law. We know that these are crimes. We know that children cannot consent to this type of illicit activity. We know this. We know it's wrong. You don't need to teach us anything. And the fact that you sat there and you're just like, oh, let me be teacher for a minute. No. Turn yourself into the police, James. If you want to hold yourself accountable and you want to help this community to begin healing, you need to turn yourself into the police. So the ball is in your court. Also, for YouTube and TikTok, and for any of the other people, whether it's corporations or any other sponsors who are actively helping this kid and pushing him up on your platforms and advertising him so you can make money, shame on you. You need to get rid of him. Retract your sponsorships. Deplatform him, take away his monetization, because these are serious crimes. This is not drama. This is not a cancellation. These are things that are against the law. And it's time for it to stop. That's where I'm going to end today's video, guys. I'm sorry that I got really heated, but this is a situation that definitely hits close to home, and I really hope that for the victims that they are seeking counseling. If you guys or anyone who's listening to this video, you've experienced things like this, reach out to someone, whether it's a person you trust, a friend, a family member, or a professional who is available to help you through this. These are very serious matters. And if you're struggling through this, get help. If you need help from me or if you want to talk to me, I'm open and available on social media. I have my Twitter and Instagram linked in the description box if you want to reach out to me, just talk. I'm available. And if you are struggling with things, I'm also going to link some resources down below to help you out with that. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I wish you all love and light. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time.